I listen to your trailer, Stefan, he talks about how like this is the dad side of the story, because I, as Stefan has seen in my content, I tend to talk negatively about the men I date. And we're going to get to that. Not all men are bad. Actually, I have a lot of male followers that are true blue followers and cool as hell. And I love love. So we'll talk about that. But I want to talk about you and how many years you've been divorced, and how do you have children, and what brought you to the Divorced Dad Diaries. So how many years have you been divorced first?
Well, first, I've been married almost 20 years. And so I've been divorced. Officially, I've been divorced like almost 2 years.
Okay.
But separated another 3, so almost 5. It was a long and painful process, which kind of gave me an idea of talking about it and starting a podcast. So, yeah. Okay. And I have 2 kids.
So you have 2 children. You were married for 20 years, and then, but technically you were separated for 3, right? And then divorced 2 years ago. Okay. So now, and can you tell everybody where you're from?
Yes, I'm from Montreal, Canada. So that explains my accent. I'm part of the French population of Canada. So, yeah.
And we're going to also say that I thought you were Latin, and I'm I was like,
and also,
God, is he Spanish? Is he single? Because I like love Hispanic men. I date lots of big Latin guys, and I do a bit. Cool. I have a tattoo on my bikini line that says "Bienvenidos."
Oh, okay. So, okay, I see. So you were distant for Spanish.
That's not something I brag about at the PTO meetings, but so
French is close enough. French is close enough, though. French and Spanish is very close. I mean,
I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I don't sound like a Karen, which that term yet. Oh my God, I hate that term. Anyway, so you've been divorced 2 years. Did you do something specific to celebrate your divorce?
Oh, that's a good question. Did I do something specific to celebrate my divorce? You know what? It's been 2 years, and I think this year, the past couple of months, it just started to sink in really. So when it happened, actually, when I got the final paper, it was a long process, and I have to say, I had a hard time to believe that it was actually done. So, but I haven't done anything.
Stare at it in the mirror and be like, I did it.
That's it. Exactly. I was planning to do something even this year, but now obviously with COVID and everything. But I guess it took a bit of time to sink in. But I guess just this year that I realized that I could turn the page and it's good.
So you need a Divorced Dad Diaries party, and I think you should come up with the virtual edition Divorce Diaries, and we'll celebrate with you, and we'll plug your podcast tomorrow night. That's the side note that we're talking about later. But okay, so you didn't really do a big celebration. You know what? Neither did I. I think I just was like, thank freaking God, it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
And how old were your children when you were officially divorced?
So when I was officially divorced, my daughter was 16 and my son was 12.
Okay, and so they were in their teens, really preteens, going through the. So, okay, my question for you is, I get a lot of slack when people say, why do you joke about divorce? Look what it does to the kids. And I'm like, no. I said, I think it's the opposite. I think it depends. First of all, look what marriage can do to kids if you're not happy. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you get that comment at all? Oh, what about your children?
All the time. And you know what? I get it all the time. And one thing I realize is, I don't know, it's probably the one that take it the easiest in the whole thing. I mean, when I told my kids, and everybody thinks about the kids and poor them, but they want to see their parents happy. And that's what I realized too, right? And but if you're not in the divorce, and that's the thing, you're scared at the beginning. I'm the first one that was guilty of it. Maybe I'll wait a bit because of the kids. Now, knowing what I know now, I would have done that 10 years ago.
Hold on. Did you hear what he just said, everybody? He would have done it years before, I started my divorce when my daughter was 20 months old, because I was like, what am I going to do? Wait 5 more years to see if this gets better, because it's not going to get better.
No, exactly.
I knew in my gut that I was so unhappy. And it's not that I wanted to give up on marriage. I was so unhappy that I knew this was going to progress into something deep, dark, and scary. And then my daughter would be out of an age where she'd be like, ugh. Like, she still wants her parents together, and she doesn't remember us together. I think kids always want that. I get it. But at the same time, they want their parents happier more. And I feel like I do that joke. I don't know if you saw it. It's like, I have people who have, and business collaborations that they're like, but Michelle, not everybody, divorce leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And I'm like, I know, so does sperm.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I wouldn't know, but okay.
No, it's okay, but you get it. Like, we have to do it. We,
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, I'm
for
sure. Listen, I meant to make you laugh too on this, so, and it's okay. So and so now, okay, so your children and how have you and your ex-wife, are you guys on good terms? I'm sure you get this question a lot. Do you guys?
Yeah, we're not on good terms.
Okay.
I
love that because it's dirty sometimes. I hate this about how it's easy. It's not always easy.
It's not easy, and like I said, initially when all this started, you always have the best intentions. Oh, we'll do this and that. It will be okay. It won't be that bad. And after a while, I don't know, people become greedy, and a lot of things happened. And the kids. Well, I said about the kids, like the kids took it the easiest. But my son, actually, my son is living with me full time, and my daughter, even recently, she's full time with me. So there was other issues on that one that didn't make that easy, and so it was it's not a I mean, now again, I don't regret anything, but one thing, the communication is not that much there, and it's still a bit hard.
Well, so can you talk to us about what brought you, piggybacking off of the kids and divorce and how it becomes this like gray territory, right? What's a good term? What's not a good term? Can you tell us now, connected to what inspired you to start the Divorced Dad Diaries?
Well, I think when all this started to happen, I mean, I started, the first thing you do, obviously you go on Google. So, okay, so what am I doing, right? So you start punching things and you get information. And so, how should I feel?
Do you want to always, so I guess I should have asked you this first. Now, do you do the podcast full time, or do you work in a specific field?
No, I don't do it full time. I have my business as well on the telecom IT side. So I'm basically a telecom or IT engineer. So I work with shopping malls now, and so a lot of fun. But so no, it's part time definitely. And I mean, when I started that, again, I started looking around and I couldn't find what I wanted and the information I wanted, and a lot. Like you said before, there's great people. Like I found you on Instagram and talk about the lives of moms and kids and stuff. But on dads, it was a bit harder to find. So that's why I said, you know what? I think I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of things maybe to say too. So, and I was into podcasting a bit before. I listened to a lot of podcasts. So I said, oh, maybe I could start mine, and that's how it started. I had a bunch of topics I wanted to talk about, and I saw my big Excel spreadsheet with the list of things, and hoping
you're a man help someone. That uses an Excel spreadsheet.
I know.
Shit. Like that's awesome.
I do. Thank you. Yeah, after a while, that piece of paper is everywhere. It doesn't work, so you have to be a bit more organized.
But I listened to your episode on roles and responsibilities, and I was like, So you're the dad that would start this podcast because you're actually doing shit. Whereas women, me, I bitch a lot about like stuff that I wish my ex-husband and the men I date, which I fall into this trap of like, dude, stop talking about it and do it. And you're doing it.
Well, okay. In all honesty, I mean, it's not like I had the idea and the next week I started it. That I wanted to have a podcast for a while, and I think the divorce was also, it took a while because, I mean, there was other things. So it took a little while to do it, I have to say. But once I decided, like everybody says, do the first episode, put it out there and see how it goes. And I got addicted and I liked it. And
do you think that men drag their feet more than women?
I think the stereotype would be yes.
Okay.
It's like everything, right? I mean, I think, do they drag more than women? Maybe women are better to hide it. No, I don't know. That's true. But yeah.
But you actually did it, because I know I personally know lots of men and women that don't take action. And I know lots of men and women that do take action. And when I look at the difference, it's that like, it's the self-doubt, which comes along with challenges like divorce or like separation even, or a bad marriage, where you get self-doubting, right?
Yeah.
And I did the same thing, and I've been a performer my whole life, and I wanted to go kind of recluse. I don't even know what I'm saying. Hide in my shell a little bit. Hide in my shell a little bit in my marriage.
Yeah.
More so when I got divorced, I was like, I'm ready to come back out to myself.
But that's true. That's true. And yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, it just it got to a time where I wanted to tell something, and I said, you know what, it was for fun too. And I said, well, again, let's just record and send it out there and see what happens. And it worked out, I guess.
Well, it's working out. I really enjoyed your episode, and I like that it sounded like when you were married, you guys sat down and communicated about roles and responsibilities.
Well, yes and no. I mean, like I said initially, well, I don't think there was a lot of communication. I think by default, you talk about, you know, if men that they drag their feet more than women. There's also a lot of things happening during that it's kind of roles that fall on you, right? So a lot of times, like, women will take care of the kids, let's say, and the man will work, and money is the man. The woman cleans the house. So yeah, that kind of.
My ex-husband that, because I was still always the money and the kids and the house, and I don't know kind of what he did,
but you know what? It's funny. I talk to people. Yeah, I talk to people, and it seems like some men are scared of women that make money and that are independent. That you know, so.
I mean, I'm lucky I don't have that problem, because there's no one at my door.
Well, I always said that too. You know what? If my ex-wife would have made more money than me, I would have stayed home and take care of the kids. I mean, you know what? You could. I would have done something on the side.
So, now you and your ex-wife you're on speaking terms. Okay. Now or cordially, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that took me, I am just now this year getting to a place with my ex-husband where I feel like, are we friends? And then like he'll do something, I'm like, no, we're not friends. Okay. Like, we talk more often than not, and the pandemic did that. But I also think 5 years happened, and each of us lost a family member, an immediate family member. So death always brings, I feel like, some weird thing together when you have kids and stuff like that. So that happened. However, like, introducing a significant other hasn't really happened with me, and like, he knew about it, because I haven't had someone in my life that significantly. Well, I mean, I wanted them to be, but they're clearly not. They're missing. Okay. We'll get to the dating part, but I'll get to my exes and how they come into meeting you a little bit later. But do you, like, we had an issue with him introducing a new girlfriend, and he thinking it was okay to bring the girlfriend, immediately introduce her to our daughter by having a sleepover, and the two kids, my daughter and his girlfriend's daughter, slept in the same bed. And it wasn't like I knew about this girlfriend. It popped up one weekend on his weekend, and then they took a bath together. It was weird. Wow, and so now, okay, you're from Canada, you just meeting and hearing this story. What's your initial reaction to that?
I think it's weird. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean,
I don't want, like, I had somebody disagree with me and say, well, they're kids. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but they don't know each other, and it's a stranger.
Yeah. And I mean, for the kids, I don't think the kids would mind.
They don't think of it like that. So, but I was like, I don't know this woman, and you slept over her.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. It would be the same for me. It would be kind of, I mean, I have older kids now, but having younger kids, for sure, that it would kind of be kind of weird at the beginning, especially like when it just come out of the blue. And yeah, for sure.
It was bizarre. So now, so what's your post-dating divorce life like? I love this question because it's one of the parts of the show.
Well, I have to say, because again, the divorce, there was so much happening and it wasn't easy. Actually, dating was really the last thing on my mind, to be honest, for years. Just to get out of.
You're a man. Okay. You didn't want to have like a romantic banging, fucking, whatever you want to. I go there, so like I.
No, but yeah. I mean, I agree. So yes, having some sex for sure. Once in a while, but
Divorce
limited.
Diaries,
but,
Trina.
I know. But honestly, I don't know, because as you probably know, it's not as easy as that, right? If it
Right,
were
I
just
know.
as easy, you meet someone and that's it. It's
And they're
everything that
like,
comes
no,
after the problem.
I know.
so so I wasn't really ready for that. And really, like, yeah, so that's why at first I was like, I have to focus on one thing, and just I'm not ready to anything to come up. And but I have good friends, and because a bunch of my friends are divorced as well. And I was talking to some of them too, and it's the opposite. I think that the second that they were off, they were like one after the other, strippers and everything else, and whatever they could find, like they just go crazy, right?
There's like a piece of cheese in the street. You're like, I'll do her.
Yeah, but it's exactly that. And it's true. I mean, a lot of men is like that, definitely, and very, very true. And I'm
I'm,
not saying that, you don't want to do that, enjoy that too as well, and you say, you find it free. And
yeah.
but yeah,
No,
I
I'm an
guess.
emotional person. I need to connect. I mean, I thought the first guy I hooked up with was going to be the next husband. So
Okay, yeah.
that was,
Well, that's the danger, right? I mean, you get out and right away you meet someone and it's so new that's like, oh, will you marry me? Because you don't know any, you know.
and that
So,
happens before the appetizers come.
yeah, for sure, for sure,
What
for sure.
so did
So
you have you dated anyone that you liked, or did you feel like what would you say, you're dipping your toe, or are you jumping in the shallow end?
no, I would say dipping. No, I haven't jumped in the shallow end yet. So I'm
You're
kind of
jumping.
dipping my toe. I know. So kind of dipping my toes there and see what's
Good.
happening. And yeah, kind of taking a bit of a bit my time on that one, and just like a lot of things happen, and I'm sure it's the same for you too. From what I've
I
seen, you're a
usually
busy person.
I
So
dip my toe, and then when I like the feel of the water, I just do a
yeah,
cannonball and it
yeah,
water out, and everyone's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. And I've been tempted to do that a lot of times, but at the same time, you have your business, and there's a lot of things happening on that. And maybe I took that energy, I kind of put it on the side, and just I started my own business and work for myself and doing this and that. So I put a lot of that energy, I think, and I put in there, and I'm happy because it's going well on that front. So
That is
so
a
yeah.
key point. I'm gonna try to make a
Mm.
promo of this baby, because that was great. I put all that energy from
Yeah,
banging into a business.
that's it. That's it.
But I mean, because it's true. Actually, that is what has helped me focus more in the last 6 months, is not being in a toxic relationship,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
for me, the most of the men I've dated haven't been great, and they
Mhm.
have distracted me from my business. And I love that you started a business and that was where you put all the energy. I think that's great, because then eventually the right person comes along and it doesn't have to be questioned. Now, I have a question for you about my dating life. Or you want to answer it? Want to help me answer
Yeah,
it?
of
Let's
course.
pretend like I'm on, I'm on the Divorce Dad Diaries, which I would love to be on. I know I'm not dad, but I'll
Yeah,
be on
would
my
love to have you on.
yes, please, because
For sure.
I struggle with, well, Michelle, when you have men hearing me bash some of these up, like the father, I also am a comedian. So when my ex
Yeah.
knows I have the show, I don't know how much he sees. Like,
Okay.
Google me. I mean, his parents have read the Tribune articles on it. Okay. But
Hmm.
I do make Twitter jokes, and I'm like, well, he doesn't really do that, but it's funny. So let's write it in.
Hmm.
So, but he does do the majority of things. What would you suggest for, like, let's say I had someone recently say to me, Michelle, you are the most wanted and dreaded date in New York City. And I was
Hmm.
like, damn, why would you say that? They're like, because you're going to talk about every guy you date. So be honest with me, because I'm very curious. How do you think a single dad, knowing what I do for a living, would feel going on a date with me?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, I've seen, again, from what I've seen from you, from what I've seen everywhere there. I mean, I think you would need someone, a dad that's secured, maybe, and sure of himself, and someone that
Thank
knows that. I mean, exactly, because you're driven, and you do humor, funny, and everything else. And some it's the same thing as we were talking before. Right? Some guys get intimidated with that. It's like, it's a bit too much for me.
They have this new show called Divorce and Dating that I've been approached by. Have you been approached by it? I'm sure you probably,
No,
they'll
I
probably,
read your post just
I
earlier
was
about that.
PO'd about it because now at least 7 people have reached out. And I wrote to the casting person, I'm like, can you just bring me on the show? Like, I want to be on the show, but my ex-husband does not want to be on camera, and he's holding up our freaking gig here. So
Hmm.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it might be a great idea for them on the aspect of making more money or whatever the people would like. But I personally don't want my ex-husband part of my dating life. He can watch from
Yeah.
the couch, but he doesn't need to be in on the episode with me.
But they want the fights, they want the arguments, they want you and your
But,
ex-husband. That's what they love, right?
but that's what I'm saying. But it's like, okay, I can get that part, but they made it like,
Yeah.
no, he would be if you guys are on good terms. I'm like, who's on good?
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so I'm
That's
like,
the reason why.
well, they'll probably approach you about it. But the thing is, you have to like your spouse has to.
Oh yeah.
I think they're not getting anybody for the show because nobody wants their spouse with them on the dating show. Like, get away from me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that yeah, you would leave your yeah, leave your spouse dating. I date on my side, and there shouldn't be any connection or intersection with those
No,
two.
there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what do you look for in a lady? Like, I mean, this is a dating question. This might be a go-to dating question, but what would like, or everyone might have already heard this kind of question. But
Hmm.
as a single dad, when you're out, let's say time is limited, right? So when you make plans, this is my biggest pet peeve with men, and I don't know why they do this. I said that wrong. I apologize. What do you do? How do you set? I want to ask you first, and then tell you what my
Yeah, go ahead.
man that I do, which I don't feel like you do because you seem to have your shit together. Most of the men I don't. Most of the men I date are like cold pizza, good at
Okay.
first because you think it's gonna taste good, but it's shitty as hell. So
Is there such thing as bad pizza though?
there's what?
Is there such thing as bad pizza?
Pizza that's not from New York City or New Jersey.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
But
Oh, you have the pizza. We have the smoked meat here in Montreal.
smoked meat. That's
the
right.
Rubians. Yeah.
So what do you let's say you want to go out with a woman you're talking to. What do? You set up plans prior to the date? Like how, and if you do, is it right before 24 hours? When do you set them up? And when do you then confirm them? Like a text confirm, a call? What do you do? What's your process?
No, I think yeah, not the day before for sure. I mean, if setting up something, I would say probably let's say a week before, give some time, and obviously someone new, I would say, right? So,
Dude,
and
I get like, oh, you want to hang out tomorrow?
yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. It would be a flag for me. It's like, so I guess you're that flexible that you can just meet the next hour, but.
7 days you said okay, so now I have had a 7 but then now the confirm. So the confirm is a big one because I feel like we've confirmed that we're going to go out next Saturday. Now Friday rolls around and I've heard from the guys sporadically. Do you confirm your time? So do you, from that week, do you text her every day?
Yeah, I would text her every day. And I think that's what's happening, right? It's kind of weird sometimes. You text every day, and after you would set a date in a week, and that whole week you don't text, and until the day before. And that's another thing that always intrigued me.
Or then if not, then so also if you're texting here and there throughout the week, what's the confirmation? When do you confirm the time? 24 hours, the morning of?
It depends. I mean, when confirm the time, I would say probably later the day before to confirm the time. But usually I have an idea of the time, but just to make sure, a day before, okay, is it still good for tomorrow? Yes, no. So at least you don't go somewhere.
See, this is why you should subscribe to the Divorced Dad Diaries. He needs to teach the men I date how to. Not even the men I date, even my male friends, they do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you? So before we leave, these are some great tools and tips. I would definitely want to have you back on again because if I start dating somebody else, maybe you and I'll just ask questions about our dating life. Like, hey, listen to what this episode says.
Anytime. Again, I don't have, I can't say that I'm the expert in there, but I'm a guy, and I don't know. I have a lot of friends that are divorced too, so we've been talking a lot.
I heard that in your episode how you said, you were one out of, how was it, 5 men that were divorced, then you were the only man. Are any of them single? I'm just kidding.
Some of them, but I don't know if I would.
Yeah, all right.
But it's funny you mentioned that because you know what, you asked me before my podcast started, and I talked a bit about it, but it was that around the table with 5 of my friends. I'm the only one non-divorced. Anybody's like, "Are you so lucky? How do you do it?" But inside, I was like, "I'm not that lucky." And
Oh,
but they saw this, and eventually, I guess it kind of came out. But
I love what you just said. It's very raw and real about what because a lot of people go through it. I was going through
mhm,
it in my marriage of like you're hiding how unhappy or the feeling of
yeah,
like, I'm not, it's not great. Um,
hmm
and I hope to find that partner that is like truly my best friend, because I think even in my earlier stages of my relationship, I knew, but I didn't want to, I just felt like I loved him. I'm just going to stay,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So I like that. It's authentic, it's real. And it says, hey, you're not alone in this, how do you do
hmm
it? Well, I'm going to start by telling you the truth.
That's true, exactly.
I'm going to bring out one of my exes, and you get to
Okay,
ask him 3 questions as if he's on your
okay,
podcast. Okay. So if you have a typical go-to question in your podcast, and if you don't, that's okay. Ask him about being a dad.
hmm
And he may not be a dad, because I have a couple exes who are and a couple of who aren't. And these are
okay,
not my ex-husband. I tried to
okay.
um, for the purpose of our own child's sake.
Yeah.
If someone asked me, like, you don't do your ex-husband? I was like, no, I think we'd be crossing boundaries that would make me have to appear in court.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes I said the same thing on my podcast. I would say things so just to make sure that
Yeah,
I don't get in trouble.
you have to, like, my ex-husband knows I do the show, and like we're on a good place. So, and I actually
Uh,
like my ex-boyfriends I feel like funnier characters because they're really deformed.
mhm.
All right.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm gonna bring in one of my exes. I'm gonna bring the Greek in after this. Hello, and now that's recording. I am Greek.
Hmm.
How are
I
you?
love Greek food.
I own bagel store.
Hmm.
Do you like feta?
I love feta. Yes, yes. A lot of Greek stores here.
Can you hear my Greek music behind?
Oh, a little bit. Yes, yes. I can. I can.
Don't be intimidated by.
So now I have to ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Um, so then, what's the best thing of being Greek
I
compared to the other nationalities? Other
my
nationalities?
mother
Yeah.
is my mother told me Greek men are gods, and
Hmm.
Michelle does not understand why I don't tell her all the time. Tell her, talk to her. So I am from Greece.
For Greece and
I
Greek God.
That's right. I was born in New Jersey, but I am from Greece.
Hmm
Adonis, this is Adonis, my hair.
Oh, yeah. Is it all covered front and back?
Oh, yes, I like the butt.
Yes. I don't want to see. Thank you.
I have you don't. Okay. You're lost. I have 5 businesses. That is major reason why I am so great. I was
hmm
taught Greek men build like we built the Olympics. I don't know.
hmm
I'm Spartan. I'm original. I am from Sparta, New Jersey, but I am from Greece.
Hmm.
I'm
And,
Greek.
and what about kids? You have 5 business. Would you have time for kids?
No, I
No.
don't have kids yet. I'm
Hmm.
45. Mommy, my mother's over here. Shh.
Okay. Still live with your mother. I see.
No, I don't live with her. I just bring
No.
her.
Okay.
I pay for apartments for her.
Okay. Good.
He oils my hair, Adonis, every night
hmm
to make it big and shiny. But no, I don't have children yet. I am too busy. But
Too busy.
definitely have a little, Stavros. No, no, Stavros, not my cousin. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I don't want to name him after my cousin. Stavros.
And what about Michelle's kids?
She's cute.
Yeah.
Michelle's kid is cute. Yes, I
Yeah.
don't do kids though right now.
No. Wow.
I don't. I give her a free cookie. I give her
Okay.
formula, and
hmm
that's good. Tap her on the head, and I pat Michelle on the butt. I am a
That's a
Greek
good deal.
god.
I see that. I see that.
Very, very, very good. But Michelle's kid is not mine. So I don't know how that would work in the future. But I am open to friends, with special benefits. Oh,
Okay.
mommy, no, mommy, I don't bring home Italian girl, only Greek. Don't tell my mommy. She don't want me to date no Greek, non-Greek lady.
Well, Italian and Greek is close, no?
Don't even. Oh, I can't listen to this man anymore. I must go. I've wasted too much of my business time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We got him out of here. He's really the Greek. The Greek was really just a mess. But he was very, very similar statements. A lot of these men, like my hair is caught in the zipper now, as you can see. So he's a regular. He's been like a fan favorite. So it's really caught.
I can see why. Yeah.
And I actually went out with him a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, because he said some really weird things for this time period of like, there's a lot of hate going on in our parts of the world, and like he just said odd things that made him even more. He said, "I'm not Thomas, but." Like, and everything after that, I stopped listening to because I was like, so you basically think you are, and you just want me to listen to what you have to say. Because he doesn't, it was just horrible. So.
Hopefully he didn't bring his mom at the date, though.
No, he just talks about her. He
talks about her,
a lot, and that's fine. But like, he insinuated one time that I talk about myself a lot, and I was like, and I do, but like he does it to the next. Like, I'm a comedian. I talk about.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Right. And it was like, oh my God. But you can't make him up. And then I just recently told him, I was like, I think we should just be friends. Like, he invited me out to his apartment, and he wrote back, friends can't have sushi and wine. And I was like, oh, he's not getting it. Like, I don't want to touch you.
Yeah. He's getting it. He's getting it, but he's trying. He's just like.
He's trying. Okay.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
What
advice would you give him as a divorced dad for dating successfully?
Well, the problem is, like you said, right? It's all about him. So he needs someone that treats him as the god he is. So that's what he's looking for. I mean, not exactly. But that's, I know some people too the same way too. They have to be treated, a certain way. And they need a woman, they'll go through a lot of dates until they meet that woman that treats them that way.
Right. Or they make the woman feel so bad that she starts to do it. I was
yeah, that maybe too.
Well, Stefan, I had such a great time tonight. This has been a fun episode. Can you tell everybody your social media handle, your website for where to listen to the Divorced Dad Diaries?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. First of all, I mean, really got on. I saw your shows and everything you post. I wasn't too sure. I really enjoyed it. So definitely. And I mean, on my side, I have my website. The divorcedaddiaries.com. On there you can find the podcast, and it's pretty much everywhere. I have a Facebook page as well, the Divorced Dad Diaries, Twitter, Instagram, so everything is on the website.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm following you on all those socials. I know I'm on Instagram and subscribe to your podcast, but go follow him. This was a great episode. I'm gonna try to.
Thank you so much.
And check out Divorced Diaries virtual edition. Go to my website for the next virtual edition. And I hope Stefan can join us for this one this Saturdays, because they're not tomorrow, actually. Well, so if you're listening to this ahead of time, tomorrow is 9/12, September 12th. And we are, going to be doing a virtual edition, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, Stefan. And
thank you again.
Subscribe and follow the Divorced Dad Diaries. Thanks, guys, so much for listening.